It took me 5 years to learn what I'm going to share with you in the next 20 minutes. After studying billionaires, the ultra rich people of all times, really understanding the concept, the energetics, the ecosystem of wealth, and how wealth is created, how it's circulated, and how it's held and kept, and it goes through the stock market and all those things, the ultimate conclusion that I've reached is money is God in action. And this could be very triggering, or this could be very controversial for many people. Clearly for me at that time when I was studying this, because we are told that rich people could be arrogant. They have more freedom, so they can take advantage. They could be more evil. They could have less feelings or empathy for poor people. They are not kind, because if they were kind, they would share all their wealth, right? And even wanting more, sometimes it's looked down upon, because why do you want more when you have enough, right? And a lot of times people connect spirituality to being poor, having less, right? Because you're compromising, you're sacrificing, you're closer to God, because now you're in a very wobbly state. You need more help. There's nothing to be arrogant about anymore. You're constantly praying, and all those ideologies, right? But what I realized was that in whatever your consciousness and your conception of God is bigger. This God energy source, whatever word you want to use, but God is bigger than this physical reality. God or some form of energy has created this all, right? So clearly it's more abundant, it's bigger, it's more planned, it's more organized, and God is all-knowing and all-powerful. God is rich already. So if God is rich, then how can we think that being poor or having less is any spiritual or any pious? So what I realized was that there is an essence of us, the perfection within us, who wants better, who wants more, who wants our truest expression. A lot of people talk about this, that, oh, I don't want to be materialistic, right? But the way I see it is that what we're really seeking is the truest, greatest, better evolution, better than yesterday, better than before, better than now, experience and expansion of life. So evolution and the concept of expansion is in every single organism. If you look at the seed, which turns into an oak tree, which turns into a giant tree, if you look at the plant, the root, and the stem that conspires with the universe, with God, to create the flower. And the flower, if the flower has a beautiful smell, or it's so beautiful, it's in its beauty, it doesn't mean it's arrogant. Its only desire is its expression of what it is, of its truest essence, right? So everything is really seeking expression, so are we. So when you want a better car, when you want to run faster, when you want to have more love in your life, when you have more joy, this is your innate sense of expression that is seeking opportunity to express itself, and that is actually the essence of God within you. A lot of times when we are made feel bad, or when we are told, oh, you cannot have that, or you should be grateful for what you have, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, you should be absolutely grateful for what you have, but when you are made feel like you are guilty for asking more, what's happening is you are actually diminishing this truest essence of you, truest essence of your expression, your signature, your blueprint on the planet, right? When you go for your expression, what you do is you tap into your vision, you tap into what's possible, you tap into the grandest thing that is available to you, and you use your energy, your thinking, your feeling and your actions to bring it to form. So what you're doing is you are channeling God through you. You are tapping into the vision of what is possible. Now, the difference between rich and the middle class or the poor mindset is that when it comes to the middle class mindset, it's about looking at what is there, thing that is already taken form, that is in the physical, and think on the limitations of what is available for you. But you can never really change what is already created. What you do is you bring the new. You use the energy, that I call it the currency of heaven. There is a formless light. It's literally a light. And Semyon Kurlian, who was a Russian photographer who actually took the picture through X-rays, that there is a light that is entering your body. You give it the form and you give it the frequency, and through your thinking and feeling, it transmutes through you into the physical. While it's transmuting, your body takes action to make it and manifest whatever is required. But it's not that you're doing everything with your hands or you're fighting against the physical reality. There is actually something transmuting on your behalf, and then you are attracting plots, plans, circumstances, people, and doing whatever is required on autopilot, because you are transmuting that, right? So it's not just your efforts, but it's the co-creation between God and you. But when you're going for the best, the evolution, and the most interesting part is when you're going for the best or excellence, the vision, what is possible, the beauty of evolution is that it is best right now. But evolution decrees that it may not be the best in the future, and that is the beauty. Maybe right now your dream car is Lamborghini, or you would love to have a Ferrari, or maybe you love to have a Rolls Royce, but maybe they are not the best cars in the future. Maybe there is something else coming, right? So the best of you is, which is the God within you, is looking for the best expression. And in order to seek that expression, you tap into the best of you. You are actually not coming from what is possible or the limitation, but you're coming from what would I love, which is the desire and expression of God within you. Right? What I realized was that there are key differences in the richness of life. And when I say rich, I don't just mean money. I mean richness in love, richness in health, richness in relationship, richness in joy and happiness, all of that. And the lack and poverty. The difference is riches come from pleasure and love. That's what I would love. That's what is possible. I would love to have that. I would like to exceed the limitations. I don't care about the possible. It's about what would I absolutely love, right? But the poverty or the lack comes from the pain. I can only have this. This is only possible for me. This is my limitation. This is my lack. And what happens is over time, we just get attuned to work with lack. Right? So we just think there is already this invisible ceiling of limitation, and we are just so programmed to just work under it. It exists and we never question it, right? The other difference between richness and poverty is in richness, you're tapping into your oneness with God. You are tapping into the God essence within you. You are becoming a reflection, because you are not looking from the constraints or circumstances or the limitations. You are tapping into what you cannot see. You're bringing the unseen in the physical. That is your truest essence. Being rich is more spiritual than lack. Lack is the lack of awareness of what is there, what is available to you, your co-creative power. Lack in no way makes you spiritual. It just means that you are compromising because you're not aware what is available to you. You're compromising because you think that because of low self-worth. This is a huge one, that when you say I love myself, and as an act of self-love, I choose to see myself with the best of the best in everything, because I love myself, because I'm a match for that. Right? That's when you desire from the possibility, from the potentiality, instead of what is available or what you can achieve or what you should have or what won't trigger other people or what is under your limitation. The way I see this thinking is very autopilot. Every day we are taking decisions in our life either from pleasure, from what would we love, or from fear, from limitations. And I love this example that there was this horse which was trying to run. It was owned by a really nice family. They had a huge mansion, and it was trying to run. So what they did was they put the electric wire around the horse. And now when the horse tried to run, it got electrocuted, right? And then it just stopped because it realized that there's a limit there, right? There's a boundary. And then it tried again and it got electrocuted. But After that, it stopped trying. And then there was another wire, which was an electric wire. There was just normal wire. The horse could have climbed. It was absolutely fine. And the family even forgot to put that wire. And you know why? Because the horse was trained in with the limitation. It was trained to believe that this is my boundary, and if I cross it, I'll be electrocuted. And this limitation is coming from generations over generations over generations. And what we are told is that if you are compromising, if you are being poor, you are actually being more spiritual, you're becoming closer to God, while actually you are refraining and you are not available or not able to tap into the God within you, which is available to you. The key difference is money is God in action, because what you're saying is, if we really understand and contemplate on the circulation of money, what we'll see is that you see yourself in the greatest light, in the greatest vision. You decide, I am valuable, I am worthy, right? You choose to be the best of you. And the best of you means you put effort on yourself, you take care of yourself, you have high standards when it comes to love, you have high standards when it comes to money, you're not ready to settle, you are coming from what you would love instead of the pain and the lack or the fear or the doubt. And then you start to see yourself with that identity that I am the greatest because I am the reflection of God. Because if God owns the whole universe, then I must be rich if I'm created in the image of God, right? And science and religion proves that. You start to see yourself that way. You start to operate in alignment. That means when you set your prices, when you create your product, when you create your expression, your whatever you're creating, your service, that is a masterpiece because it's a reflection of you, who is a reflection of God. So it has this beauty, this art, this glamour, this incredible vibe, this sense of like, this is a masterpiece, this is greatest ever. And you really believe in yourself, you really believe in your creation, like God believes in the creation, and then you charge accordingly. And then what happens is your prices reflect. So money is a reflection of how you see yourself and what identity and level of consciousness and belief you're operating at. So the amount of money you are willing to charge is equal to, on the spectrum from 0 to 100, and I'm just putting in a perspective 0 to 100, what is your concept of you? What is your value of yourself? Do you value yourself 10%? Do you value yourself 70%? Do you value yourself 100%? It is a reflection of your value to the world, to value to yourself, right? And then when you put out that value, the world is a mirror. So what you attract is in proportion, is a reflection of what you are putting out. So you attract those people who are showing you your value, who are showing you what value you are putting in the world, right? What value you are claiming in the world. And if you charge low prices and you have doubts, you will attract people who will question your prices, or who would question your value, you question your work, you question your product. If you charge the prices where you really stand behind energetically, you attract people who value your prices, your work. But as a result, those people will also value themselves, because you cannot value anybody if you don't value yourself. This is a whole circulation of money, that money is actually the byproduct of how much you're tapping into the God within you, how much you're becoming one with God, how much you're seeing your truest self in align with God. And the beauty is your oneness with God always exists. It's always there. And it will never get, you will never lose it. It will never go away from you. The only difference is you become aware of that. And how much money you receive is a reflection of that. And now, of course, there could be an argument. What if somebody is doing bad things to receive money? It doesn't apply to them, because money, the true value of money circulates when people are creating value, they're exchanging value, they see their value, what they create is valuable, and they're tapping into the God essence. When I look at money and luxury, right? If you think of, let's take the examples of hotels, right? Let's say you're going on a holiday. Now, from the lack mindset, you would say, I need a decent holiday where I can sleep, which has a decent room, and I can have a good time. And of course, that hotel, from the usability and from the purpose perspective and from the functionality perspective, it's more than enough, right? It will have a bed, you'll be able to have a comfortable sleep, you'll be able to enjoy yourself. But now think of 7-star hotel, not even 5-star, 7-star hotel, right? Now with a 7-star hotel, there is no limit. It's about what would you absolutely love. What is the art and beauty and creation which will blow your freaking mind? What is the thing where you'll be like, oh my God, this is so good. So now we are not coming from lack. We are coming from abundance and overflow and art and masterpiece energy, and the energy where it's like, oh my God, this is just out of the world, right? And that hotel will have this, from functionality and usability perspective, it's the same. You'll still get a bed, you'll probably get a very nicer bed, very nice mattress, maybe they have this lights with switches on it, and there is really cool stuff there. But from functionality perspective, it's pretty much the same. It fills the need, right? But in the ultra wealthy perspective and in the richness of life, it's not about lack, it's not about usability and functionality, it's about what would you love, what is that masterpiece that you would love to have. What if you tap into the greatest essence of you and you want to experience life in the most abundant and the most fulfilling and the most greatest and grandest way, which is aligned with God, because this is what God is. This is what God in action. In that case, more money is circulated because more value is created, more masterpiece is created, more that person has tapped into their godlike essence, their truest creation, their truest innovation, and their skills and their power and their imagination and their overflow, right? This is the difference. If you think of Rolls-Royce versus a Toyota, right? Both of them will take you from A to B. Both of them you'll be able to sit. Both of them will be able to drive. So it's not about the function or just enough. It's about what will take your breath away. What will make you feel like, oh my God, you're in heaven. What will be like, yes, this is it, right? And Rolls-Royce wouldn't take you away from God, nor Toyota. But when you tap into the energy of Rolls-Royce and when you become the Rolls-Royce of your industry, right? So when you start to see yourself as a Rolls-Royce, right? You tap into the God essence of you, the perfection within you, the masterpiece, the visionary, coming from the place of what would I love? What would I create that would take my breath away and that would take other people's breath away and that will make me a match of excellence? So what I realized was money is God in action. And what rich people have realized is that they can tap into the God within them, and they have got this excellence within them, which is available to them. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It doesn't matter what the limitations are. That is the product of past thinking, what you're seeing in your physical reality. They come from the vision. They come from, this is what I would absolutely love. And what they breathe and live by is excellence. Because when you tap into the pure potentiality, when you tap into the God within you, what you create is nothing less than excellence. What you create is take the breath of your industry. What you create is the scroll stopper, is the breath stopper, is like, people are like, oh my God. And if you want to see a really amazing manifestation of this, look at the singers, right? If you look at your favorite song by your favorite singer, when you listen to their song, right, it activates something in you. You feel that frequency. You go in another zone. You are like, yes, and you listen to it like 100 times, and they probably have got billions of views. But the key is that they tapped into that zone, that frequency, which activated something in you because you have access to that zone. And when you met them there, it activated something in you. You just felt it deep within you, and they became a match for a lot of money because they tapped into more God within you. And this is where money and the amount of money you attract is directly proportional to how much you are tapping into the essence of God within you.